If we are accepting everything that's coming our way, if we are trying to grab every single opportunity, if we are saying yes to anybody and everybody, and if we are listening to everyone's grumblings and complaints, then probably we are distracted and our life is out of focus. And one fine morning, we are going to wake up to find that we have lost connection with our life. We are no longer in the job of our choice. We no longer have healthy relationships, and we are no longer in the pink of our health. So, my dear friends, focus is absolutely essential for life. In fact, the quality of our focus determines the quality of our life. It drives our feelings, our thoughts, and even our emotions. If our focus is fuzzy, if it is unclear, if it is scattered, then we hardly get any results, any outcomes in our life. On the contrary, if our focus is sharp, if it is distinct, if it is clear, then we get stupendous results. And the level of our peace, our productivity, our prosperity, it goes up. So, if focus is so essential for our life, then how to achieve that kind of laser sharp focus in our lives? For that, we need to have a mission, a clear and a compelling mission for ourselves. We need to have a goal statement in place. We need to know the list of activities and priorities we are going to do during the day. Everything is pre-planned on our itinerary. We know what to do in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. We know what to focus upon this week, this month, and this year. So everything, all the strategies, all the plannings, all the priorities, they are in place. And once we are focusing on these activities, we get tremendous results, and it further enhances and augments our focus. Once we have results in our life, we have progress and growth in our life, we feel good about ourselves. And now we look at the areas which are working. So we further focus on those areas, and it further enhances our results. But where lies the problem? Now, for most of the people, they start with a bang but end with a whimper. By that I mean that they start with a lot of gusto, a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, but as the going gets tough, they buckle down under pressure. Or it's equally possible that they are spreading themselves too thin. They have too many projects, too many activities up their sleeve. And that's why they are so engrossed in taking so many decisions during the day that they hardly have any energy for their mainframe activities, for their mission. They do not know what to focus upon. Therefore, my practical take here is that we all must reduce the number of choices and the number of decisions we have to make during the day. When we make a decision, there is a firing of neurons in our brain. And every time we make a decision, this firing goes on. And as a result, our brain energy, our mental energy, our focal power, it gets exhausted. So we have little power left to work on our mainframe activities. So guys, reduce the number of decisions in your life. In order to achieve this practically, we need to do three things. First of all, we need to reduce browsing from our lives, because whenever you are browsing, whenever you are looking at that news feed, you are looking at that story or that tweet, what is happening? Again, there is a firing taking place of the neurons and the brain cells inside your brain. And not only that, you have to make a decision whether to go through this post or not. But you also, if you like the post, now you have to decide whether to store it or to share it. A plethora of decisions you have to take once you are browsing. And simultaneously, it is also releasing dopamine inside your brain, that feel-good neurotransmitter. And that's why it is making browsing very addictive. So you open up another window, you start to look for another story, because now you want that sustained release of dopamine. So my dear friends, my recommendation here is that get in and get out. Whenever you are browsing, do it intentionally, do it deliberately. Once you are done with the browsing of a subject, just get out of it. Then secondly, we must not engage in the mindless surfing of our TV channels. Now, it's a pleasure many a times to do binge watching with a remote in our hand. We are surfing through various channels, and with a bag of potato chips or popcorns in our lap, we do not know when our minutes have turned into hours. So it's not adding up to our focus. It's not adding any brawn to our brain. Rather, it might be adding some bulk to our bellies. So my dear friends, stop browsing and stop surfing through the TV channels mindlessly. Whenever you have to do it intentionally, do it deliberately. Then the third practical tip to enhance focus in your life is to avoid multitasking. Now, as humans, we have been blessed to carry out 2 or more activities at the same time. But this blessing is a curse for us, because whenever we are focusing, we are zooming in onto a task, and without finishing it, we zoom out of it and then take up another task. And again, we follow the same procedure. We zoom in and we zoom out before completing it. So cumulatively, the time taken to accomplish the 2 tasks is much longer than it would have taken while we were doing it independently or individually. So try to avoid multitasking in your life. If you follow all these 3 procedures, that is reducing the amount of browsing time and reducing upon your surfing and eliminating multitasking, then of course you'll have much more time left for your mainframe activities. Your brain will be less fatigued. Now, one last recommendation. Whenever someone comes to us with a request or a demand or a favor, the helper in us, that volunteer in us, it normally commits to it without thinking that whether this particular activity is going to help me in my mission, whether it's a decent return on my investment, whether it's giving me a bang for my buck. So we have to see, we have to weigh and consider, whenever somebody comes for a request, we should instantly say no. Or diplomatically, we can ask for some time, maybe a couple of hours, or maybe a day, when we can decide whether or not to commit to this task. If it is improving the quality of our life, if it is going to improve our health or spiritually enhance us, then probably there's no harm in committing to it, but instantly, immediately say a diplomatic, a polite no, or ask for time. It's better to not to commit and then to regret later. So it's better you can postpone it. If there's one area where you can postpone, you can procrastinate on your decision, that is when somebody crops up with a demand in front of you. That will heighten your focus, and that will give you more time to augment your focus in life. So that was my take about enhancing focus in our life. To summarize, first of all, we must have a clear and a compelling mission for our life that would automatically tell us as to what are the activities we need to pursue. And then once we are pursuing that mission, that goal, that objective of ours, we automatically get results which further heightens our focus. And we must eliminate multitasking, we must eliminate browsing and surfing from our lives. And last but not the least, we must cultivate the art of saying no. And once we are doing all these activities, I'm sure your life is going to show stupendous results. Your focus will go places and you will have great charged life. So that was my take on enhancing focus. If you have some more ideas and suggestions, I would welcome them in the comments down under. And if you have liked the video, please do share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. This is Dr. Deepak Arora signing off for the time being, and we meet up again next week with another life-enhancing video. Thank you so much.